Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today's edition of New Hope Radio. It is our Friday edition, and we're glad to be here with you this afternoon. Very special program today. So glad that you tuned in, and I think you'll be glad that you tuned in as well. We have Dr. Rutkowski with us here in our semi-luxurious studio of New Hope Radio, and we're going to talk about a balanced life between being physically healthy and spiritually healthy. How you doing with that? How you doing with a balanced life between your physical and your spiritual being, your emotional being? We're going to talk about that today. It's a really good topic. It's something we all need to be knowledgeable of. So we're so glad that you're with us today. Also want to give you the opportunity to join us here on the program. You can call us or text us at 508-496-9368. You want to talk to us, talk to Dr. Ross, ask him a question, 508-496-9368. Maybe you're a little shy, you can text it in as well. Same number, 508-496-9368. We'd love to hear from you. Dr. Ross, thanks for being with us today.
Oh, my pleasure. Glad to be here.
And we've got a good topic on hand. We're going to talk about health spiritually, physically, and we're going to talk about the balance between the two. Let me ask you right off the bat.
Sure.
Do people care much today about that balance between being physically and spiritually healthy? What do you think?
I don't think so. I think it's one of those things maybe under the radar a bit, and people aren't paying attention. They're just overwhelmed with the business and go, that I don't think they're focused on that at all.
And, you know, you're a chiropractor, but you're very big on nutrition, which is very important.
Yes.
And tell us about the value of good, healthy nutrition.
Sure. Well, it's our fuel. And, our body's designed to eat and needs it for fuel and restoration and healing and energy. And just so important today, particularly, again, in today's world, because our food supply has just completely changed where it was even 20, 30 years ago. And people are just eating toxic foods, a lot of chemicals, additives, preservatives, hormones, and it's changing our bodies and changing our health, and a lot of people aren't aware of that. So it just becomes more and more need to be more concerned about what we eat.
What's happened to our food these days? What's going on? Why is it so different today than the way it was? I mean, when I was a kid, I think food was pretty healthy.
Yeah. Oh,
today
yeah.
It seems to be very different.
Oh, yeah. There's stuff today that, like, our grandparents wouldn't even recognize, that didn't even exist back in their time. And a lot of the reason it's processed. They make foods to last a long time on shelves. Just things are artificially made. They estimate that 70% of the standard American diet, we call it the SAD diet, 70% of the average person's diet is made up of processed foods.
And it's sad when I see people out in public. I see so many people, they just seem to struggle to get around. So many folks are tired and bent over and shuffling their feet, and it's is that something that can be prevented as we get older?
Yeah, and that's what we're all about. We're always working to help people keep that balance and look at all the pieces of their health that we have to address these things. We can't just ignore them. And I think that's probably the biggest thing we see. I think there's this huge disconnect that people have versus the way we live and what makes us sick and what ultimately gives us disease and the ultimate causes of death. And they show today that chronic illness is the number one cause of death by far. Nothing touches that category. It includes heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and obesity. And those are all lifestyle-driven diseases in the vast majority of cases, about 80 to 90% of those cases. So it's the most ironic thing. The way we choose to live is the number one reason why we die. And most people don't look at it that way.
And it seems like if these are preventable illnesses, it seems like, man, as long as the TV's on, they've got a drug to help you with that illness rather than a lifestyle change.
Oh, absolutely. And that just makes it all that much worse, is that the solution, the quote solution that comes from our culture is to medicate the symptoms of a breaking down, failing, sick and diseased body, which I understand that we're helping people feel better, but if we're not addressing the causes of those problems, we're not regaining health, and that's where we're really lost.
So you're saying that a lot of these things can be addressed with a lifestyle change.
Absolutely. And that's where we start. We look at those, yes.
Now, you do a workshop weeknights. Tell us about the workshop and some of the things that you cover, and where is this workshop?
Yeah, well, we do workshops fairly regularly. It all depends on the schedule, and but we have all different topics. There's 4 big pieces of lifestyle. It's how we eat. There's the nutrition. It's how we move, exercise, how we live, our exposure to toxins, and how we think, our mental, emotional health. And so we rotate through those categories, and we talk endlessly on those things. And we do workshops, we do radio shows, and we're always promoting people just to help them simply make better choices more often. Right? No one's going to be perfect. It's impossible. We know it's impossible, but we can do better. And so we just want to move in the right direction.
Yeah. So maybe you have a question or a comment for Dr. Ross. Give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. 508-496-9368. Maybe there's something that's ailing you, and you're looking for some kind of something that you can do, because I think that's the key, Dr. Ross. Lifestyle change. I love that. That there are things that we can do to help ourselves with our own health and our own just feeling better about life.
Of course, yeah. So much we can do.
Yeah. So let's talk about, I know in your workshops, I've been there, you talk about the wheel. Let's talk about the wheel a little bit.
So the wheel's a nice metaphor.
Yeah.
If everybody can visualize this. You think about a wheel, like say on a bicycle, and there's an outside wheel, like where the tire is. Then there's an inside wheel, the hub, right, that goes on the bike, and then there's spokes which connect the two. And so if you think about all the spokes as different aspects of our life, our nutrition might be a spoke. Your physical fitness is another spoke. Your spiritual well-being is another spoke. Your family is a spoke. Your finances is a spoke, etc. We have multiple spokes. And so in the center is our purpose, and the outside, the rubber, is the life. And so the point is that the wheel needs to be round, right? And that so if we have a very say successful professional spoke or business spoke, maybe whatever, you invest all your time and energy in business and you're wealthy and that's all great, but that came at a sacrifice. So maybe your family spoke is short, or most likely your health spoke is short, and then so you have a dysfunctional wheel. And so it's all about balance. It's about creating balance in that wheel to have a balanced life.
So what is it that people can do to have that balance? They have to be thoughtful, I'm sure.
Yeah, so we hit those 4. There's 4 major categories: eat, move, think, and live, and everything will fall into those categories. The way we do it, even we would take our spiritual health into our thinking piece of that, because that has to do with our well-being as well.
And every one of these is biblically based. I mean, eating, moving, which is something that our society today, the workplace, has really restricted our moving, hasn't it?
It has. It really has. Genetically, our genes, we're designed to express large amounts of energy from the beginning of time, right? We were designed to hunt, gather, fish, and farm, garden, right? Take care of the land, take care of the garden, and that's the way it's always been. Never mind before electricity and technology and all of that. And our bodies, from a gene standpoint, really hasn't changed much at all. But our world is just transformed. Now we don't even have to move. We just order pizza, deliver our groceries, drive cars, sit at a desk, and we're not expending energy. And that's a big driver of chronic illness.
Everything's being delivered today.
It's right.
Every week there's something new that's being delivered. Domino's, I mean, they were like ahead of their time, because now, I mean, everything you want, drugs, pharmacy, your prescriptions. Are being delivered.
Fast food restaurants are delivering to your home now.
Fast foods,
Oh yeah, they have these services through your phone where you can, I won't mention anybody, like a burger chain will deliver burgers and fries to your home, and it's like, you got to be kidding me.
Now they have a meatless burger. What do you think about that coming up? The Impossible Burger.
I've heard a little bit about that. I don't.
I mean,
a non-meat thing's maybe not a bad thing, but what is it is the point. But I don't know.
I mean, wouldn't that be a veggie burger?
Yeah.
Just get a veggie burger.
Right. If it's vegetables, that's great. If it's some man-made, I don't know what, then I'd be worried. But
So let's talk about moving a little bit, because I think sometimes people think, well, moving, it's not something they think about.
Right.
It's so easy to do, to go out for a daily walk in the evening or the morning, or do something to be mobile, isn't it?
Right, to be active, and it's good, especially in the morning, during the day, early morning, get your body moving. Again, you were designed and you were created to move and express energy. It's an abnormal event for a human to be sedentary. And the body adapts that in a bad way. So another great way of thinking about moving is thinking about exercise as an essential nutrient that we require every day. And either you're meeting that requirement or you're not. I mean, it's something that we need every day.
You know, I think Jesus came at the right time because he came in a day when people walked everywhere.
That's right. That's right.
He didn't come when we were driving Mustangs and Corvettes.
That's right. That's
he came
right.
when people walked.
That's
you know?
right.
And you think about moving. I mean, how easy and fun it could be. You could have a little flower garden. You could have a little vegetable garden, a little herb garden in your yard or on your deck. And that gets you standing up and bending down and moving and just doing some things that we might not normally do
That's right.
on a day-to-day basis.
That's right. Yeah, I know some people, they hear the word exercise like it's a bad word.
Yeah.
You know, think about a gym, think about being sore and sweating. Again, nothing wrong with that, but it's not required. It's
Right.
just that you move and you be
Right.
active and you use your body like it was designed to be used.
Even stairs can be your friend, I believe. Just
Stairs
going
are
up
great.
and down some stairs a few times.
Very good
A
exercise.
few times a day, things like that.
Sure.
Now, how about thinking? What about, let's talk about the thoughts that we think that add to a balanced life.
Ooh, that's a big one. That's
Yeah.
a real big one. In fact, that's probably one of the biggest categories, because even to consider doing things in the other categories, it's going to happen in your mind first. You're going to make a decision that you want to eat better, or a decision that you're going to change your life for your health, and that's a real big one. And I think one of the biggest factors is the stress factor that we have in today's world. We are just overloaded, absolutely overloaded with stress, and it's not just a mental emotional thing, but it physically affects us as well. It changes our hormones, particularly through stress hormones. Everything, digestion changes, our immune system changes, blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, all those things are altered by stress, even if those stress are just thoughts. It's not.
How does someone, if someone has stressful situations, how do they handle that? What can they do?
One is exercising. Exercising is a great way, because when we move our joints, our bodies fire off a neurological mechanism called proprioception, and those are the relaxation signals to the brain, and so that literally takes someone out of a stress. So when you're all worked up and whatever, you had a bad day, you're stressed out, don't I tell people, don't curl up in a ball and cry about it. Go for a walk and cry about it. And get moving and move. You will feel better, and we know that is too. We feel we go to the gym or we go do something, and we feel so much better. And it's physically relaxing to your brain and body to move.
And I really believe one day it's going to stop raining over here.
It might.
And we can get out there and get some vitamin D from the sunshine, and maybe even riding a bike. Just riding a bike for a little bit every day. And for the older folks, well, I can't ride a bike. They do make 3-wheel bikes for adults, don't they?
Yeah, sure.
And they can get out there with the 2 back tires on the front wheel, and they can get out there and do some riding.
Yeah. Simple thing. Walking is, believe it or not, is one of the best exercises. Yeah.
So you think about, we got to watch out for these toxins come in 2 different areas. Toxic food and toxic thoughts.
Yes.
Thinking negative thoughts, bitterness, jealousy, resentment. How do we handle thoughts like that?
Yeah, well, I like looking at it from a neurological standpoint. And when we have those negative thoughts, anxiety, worry, fear, regret, shame, all these these negative emotions, that we're stimulating certain neurological processes with that. And the way neurology works is that we can't tell our body to stop doing that. Like if we're upset at ourselves and we're just really kicking ourselves because we did something stupid, you can't tell yourself, oh, you stupid, like don't never do that again. And you can't. By doing that, you're actually stimulating that system to keep going. It's just the opposite. You have to stimulate the other side of the system, and so you have to replace those negative thoughts, those negative cycles, with positive ones. And when you stimulate the other thoughts, the other ones are going to be inhibited. And so it's just the opposite. We got to be positive. Think about positive expectation and things like that, and that literally neurologically calms our body and our brain.
The Apostle Paul, he said the same thing biblically. He says when we put ourselves under the law, we die. It's worse that the law doesn't change us, but when we understand the love of God and the grace of God, that's what changes us. So the more we put restrictions on ourselves, it seems like the more we complicate the situation. But if we go to the positive side, things are going to work out a lot better for us. That's amazing. Listen, tell everybody you have an office in Somerset. Let them know where you are, how they can find you.
Yeah, we're right on Route 6 in Somerset. The address is 1592 GAR Highway. That's Route 6 in Somerset.
And hours of operation?
Well, they were Monday through Friday.
Yep, every day.
Yeah, every day, and we're there to help.
Yeah. So listen, give us a call. You got an issue, got a problem, 508-496-9368. We'll take your text. We'll take your question. Whatever you have, we'd love to hear from you, especially today. Dr. Rutkowski's in the studio with us today talking about, I love that issue with the wheel because it makes us consider every part of our life. And I think some people, they think, well, you know what? Every spoke on the wheel is important, isn't it?
It is.
Every aspect of our life is important as well. It's not only the family part, but what about every member of the family also?
Sure.
Breaking that down.
That's it. And that's the
Right.
neat thing is that you kind of create your custom wheel. Some people keep things simple, like I'm going to have 4 spokes.
Yeah.
And then other people, they want 30. That's
Yeah.
okay. You can put as many spokes. It's your life, and but realize all the spokes on the wheel, they need to be the same length
Yeah.
to have a functional wheel.
Now, tell me about some of the lives that you've seen change that have adapted a lot of these principles. Have you seen people come through? Man, they were a train wreck.
Oh, yeah.
And then little by little by little, they start to see a difference.
We
What
do.
was it that they did?
We see it all the time, and
Yeah.
our principles are just very simple. That's what's so awesome about it. Is number one is that we always start by looking at the nervous system. The nervous system is the body's master system. It's responsible for all function and all healing. So our number one objective, let's get stress off of the system so that amazing body that we were created with can do what it's supposed to do. So that's number one, and that's actually the purpose of chiropractic care. And then in addition to that, now let's start looking at lifestyle, right? It's help reduce stress. Let's look at how you eat and how you move and how you think and how you live, and let's look and help you make better choices. And just by doing that, I know it sounds just so simple, but we just have life-changing things we see happen all the time as a result of that.
What part do you, I think that the malady that people have today is they're driven by, here it comes, instant gratification.
Oh yeah.
And isn't that instant gratification, doesn't that take us down the wrong road because we find ourselves doing the wrong things to find satisfaction?
Oh, most definitely. In many ways, of course, right? But even when we look at our health, that's why people take medication the way that they do. They don't want to have to do stuff to, I need to be in an exercise program, or I need to change my
Right.
diet, or I need to
Right.
meditate or pray. I'm just going to take a pill.
Right,
It's
right.
just, and it may work quickly, but it's not the
Yeah.
answer. It's just not the answer.
So in the long run, let's face it, anything we do requires diligence.
Yes.
And even if we're going to seek for a healthy lifestyle, we have to be diligent with that. It's not a pill. It's not a book. It's something that we have to put one foot in front of the other, whether it's spiritually or whether it's physically.
That's right.
You have to do the work, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, you have to do the work, and we love it when people are ready to do that, and they ready
Yeah.
to make that commitment. Things are easy. Other people need a little help.
Yeah.
But that's okay. But yeah, it's one step at a time. It's a long process.
Yeah.
And even though people will get feeling better and function better very quickly, but health, and it's a lifelong thing. We don't just do it for a few weeks
Right.
and to say, hey, I feel pretty good. I think I'll ignore my health again and wait till it crashes. Yeah, it's something we want to be diligent regularly with.
Yeah.
Just like our spiritual health, we shouldn't, even though everything we come in, tides, don't we?
Right.
And we go in and out of things, and we just got to stay on things, slip and check all the time.
Yeah.
And stay diligent.
But I think one thing can really help us, and that is once we make the decision to start doing the right thing, we develop momentum.
Yes.
And that momentum, that'll carry instant gratification. We're always starting from square one.
Right.
But when you've got momentum, it's like it just gets easier and easier because now you're in the zone,
Yes.
right? Whether it's eating or thinking or whatever.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Both physically, definitely need momentum, mentally, emotionally, spiritually.
Yeah.
It's all momentum.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you got to keep that ball rolling. And once that's going, it's easy. And
I remember, growing up, we all had junkie cars when we were like 17, 18
Oh,
years
yeah.
old. And then half the time they didn't start. And we'd always have to push out each other's cars.
Right.
And when you had the clutch, right? You push the car and you
Right.
jump the clutch and you go. And getting that car pushing, that was tough. But once you were moving, it was easy.
Right.
It got easier and easier to push it because you were moving. You had that momentum. And then you popped the clutch and took off. And we need to do that in our everyday life.
exactly.
Get started,
Exactly.
get some momentum.
Especially
going.
with our health. And I'm blown away all the time where, to me, health is one of the most important aspects of life. But what do we have without that? And
Yeah.
most people, they wait
Yeah.
until they lose their health to be concerned about it. And that's not the time. Only time to be concerned is to be
Yeah.
concerned now. Hopefully when you are healthy and learn how to stay that way.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't get to the final goal because they fail to be consistent.
Right.
Consistency is tough.
Yes,
it
it is.
requires a real discipline.
It does. Discipline is a perfect word for that. But there's also good news about that is that we don't have to be perfect.
Right.
We just have to be disciplined. So we love a rule we
Right.
call that the 80-20 rule, where if you're on your game 80% of the time, you can make amazing life changes. And that means that, you have enough leeway to include some of those foods that are maybe less ideal, but you can still enjoy those things. You can
Yeah.
get some ice cream in the summer, and, you're
Yeah.
not going to have
Yeah.
birthday cake. You can do stuff like that and still be great, if you're diligent the other 80% of the time.
So we're talking here lifestyle. If you have a good balanced lifestyle, you can still enjoy all the things that you really do, right? Because you're consistent with that that lifestyle.
That's right. That little bit, you have the little
Right.
leeway with there, not to
Right.
be, trying to be perfect. And I think that's an important thing for people to realize too. You don't have to, even like diet, the word diet or nutrition, bad word. People, they
Yeah.
freak out. Oh, I got to change my life. I'm not going to be happy.
Right.
I'm going to be starving. I can't.
Right.
No, not true. Not at all. You can really work in those things and find a way.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Now, there's a word that you chiropractors use in your circle.
Yes.
And I want you to explain that. It's called subluxation.
Subluxation.
Let's explain what that is.
Yes, one of my favorite words.
I know,
So
yeah.
we use that word specifically, and most of you think, maybe for a lot of you, you've heard that word just for the first time, but we continue to use that. That was the original word used in 1895 when chiropractic was discovered. And that term means it's a misalignment of the spine, which creates stress on the nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
And real simply, it's just breaking down information that's going from your brain to your body. So whether it's muscles, organs, glands, tissues, those parts just can't work at their potential when there's stress on the nervous system. That's what subluxation is. Mm-hmm. And we use that word very specifically because people may interchange things like pinched nerves or this or that, and it's not really the same thing because a chiropractor is the only licensed specialist in the whole world to detect or correct this problem. And so a lot of people work with pinched nerves and other issues, but this is a very specific type thing, so we like keeping that separate and distinct and using those particular words that describe that.
What are some illnesses or afflictions that you've seen people heal from by getting chiropractic?
I don't know if there's something that I haven't seen over time. And what's interesting though, it's not, I can tell you flat out, it's not because of me. I'm not a healer. Chiropractic is awesome, but the human body is more awesome. There's such an unbelievable healing power in our body, and we just got to get stress off of that system. So we see things like even common things, colds and flus clear up amazingly fast. And even better, one of the stories we don't tell all the ones we prevented, that maybe never even happened that. But people come in even hurting all the time. Common things like sciatic pain, back pains, those things tend to clear up very quickly. Headaches are amazing. But I've had really sick people too, really, really sick people with heart conditions, cancers, things like that. And we've seen people heal from them. And again, they heal themselves. We just remove interference, and the body, is an amazing healing machine.
It seems like, I guess sciatica seems to be a common
It is very common.
illness today, and so many people have found relief from chiropractic from
Yeah,
that.
that's just a straightforward thing where it's stress from the lower back. It's the nerve roots in the lower back which travel down the leg, and subluxation in the lower spine is going to create that shooting down the leg.
Right.
So get the stress off, and the body heals.
Yeah. So give people a phone number that they can reach you at, or a website if they're interested in finding out more about whether it's chiropractic or getting on that wheel and getting those spokes lined up, or coming to a workshop. How can they reach you?
Sure. Probably the best way is to call the office, 508-673-5400, 673-5400. It's right in Somerset. You can find us online too at www.rutkowskichiropracticwellness.com, or just search me on the net. All types of stuff will pop up. And and get in touch with us. And we have a lot of resources for you. And as a special gift, if anybody would like to have your lifestyle evaluated, I can send you an online system where you can just go through a survey, and you can actually get a scientific type report based on how you eat, move, think, and live. And it'll give you a rating. It will show you how you measure up against scientific data, not our friends, not what we see on TV, how we consider what would be an ideal or perfect lifestyle, and how you match up against that. It's a really great thing. And you could call us for that. We'd be glad that we can send that to you right through email, and you also get your results right through email.
Yeah.
And absolutely free. It's a $99 test.
That's great. And isn't it true that just because we don't feel bad, it doesn't mean we might not be in bad shape?
That's a huge one. So neurologically, only 10% of that nervous system has the ability to transmit pain. So when things get irritated in that percentage, we know about it, right? We all have aches and pains and things we complain to everybody about. But realize 90% of the time, or 90% of the nervous system doesn't transmit pain. It's functional. So when the functional side gets irritated, we malfunction but don't feel it. And that's really dangerous, right? We can't discuss how our liver enzymes are balancing today, or how many cancer cells we've killed. And we hear about and even know people, right, all the time. They seem completely healthy, and they have a fatal heart attack. They get diagnosed with a terminal cancer. They weren't healthy. They were very sick, but they felt fine. And so it's a horrible indicator just to base your health on your symptoms alone. And that's why we like to do functional testing, really find out how you're functioning, not just how you're feeling, and work at the cause and not just medicate your symptoms.
We got about 2 minutes left. Talk about fish oil and some supplements.
Fish oil and supplements, yeah. So we have very few, and I know that's a crazy big topic, right?
Yeah.
But there's very few that we recommend, but there are some that we recommend to everyone across the board, and fish oil is number one on our list. And omega-3 is a great natural anti-inflammatory. It's awesome fuel for the brain. Very, very important. A lot of people take fish oils, but a lot of people don't take enough of them. We recommend the average person should be taking about 3,000 milligrams a day. It's got to be purified too, or it's toxic for you. So make sure it's a purified form. That's our real big one. After that one, vitamin D3 would probably be next on the list. Vitamin D is so important for us. Most people don't look at vitamin D for the aspects of the strong immune system and cancer prevention, but we need to take large amounts, about 5,000 units a day. For most people, doctors are telling people take 1,000, 2,000, because that prevents osteoporosis and rickets, which that's okay, but there's so much, and vitamin D is dirt cheap. We're talking pennies a day to take 5,000 units, and we see amazing things happen with that.
5,000.
Yeah. Those are big. Those are real big ones on our list. Probably the top two.
Okay, in our final minute, give us that contact information one more time before we sign off, Dr. Ross.
Sure. The name of the office is Rutkowski Chiropractic Wellness Center. We're in Somerset, Massachusetts, 1592 GAR Highway. That's Route 6 in Somerset. And the phone number is 508-673-5400, or find us on the web at rutkowskichiropracticwellness.com.
And it could be important. Grab that survey and take a look and see.
Yeah, just absolutely free gift for you. You can kind of see where you're at lifestyle-wise, and it gives you great information about solutions as well.
Dr. Ross, thanks for coming on board today. Appreciate it. A lot of good information. I hope we inspired some people to really take the step.
I hope so, too.
Because they can do it, can't they?
Absolutely can do it. It's just one step at a time, but you got to start stepping and get that momentum going.
Anyone can do it.
Anyone and everyone can do it.
Starts with desire, right?
Absolutely.
Desire.
Absolutely.
Okay. Hey, thank you for coming on board today. Everybody, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you being part of the program today. And I want to remind you, Sunday here at New Hope, got a good topic, pre-marriage principles. It's good for those that are getting married, and it's good for those that are married. So we're going to get you coming and going. Pre-marriage principles. What does the Bible say? How can you build a marriage relationship on good, healthy, biblical principles? 9 and 11 a.m., right here, Route 6, Swansea, Massachusetts, New Hope Christian Church. Can't get to church? Stream us online at newhopecc.tv. Have a great weekend. Hey, New Hope Radio is on the air tomorrow at 3 o'clock, and I'll see you next week for more.